Hey, how we doing? I'm Andy, this is Spiders, and today we're gonna have a look at what I picked up at this weekend's British Tarantula Society exhibition down at the Warwick Event Centre in Leamington Spa. Now, it was fair play, it was an awesome day. I managed to catch up with a lot of people that I've met before, and I also managed to meet a lot of people that I haven't met before, which was pretty cool. Loads of people from the hobby, lots of YouTubers, just people, supporters of the channel, everything. It was really cool. I sort of didn't get more than 10 yards without bumping into somebody and stopping and having a bit of a natter. Now, I'm not going to try and rattle off all the names here because I know what I'm like, and I'm guaranteed that I'll forget somebody. So what I am going to do is, in the editing process, I'm going to write a list and I'm going to flash them on the screen throughout the video. Now, I do apologise in advance if I do forget someone, but like I said, there was that many people that I met on the day. That's why I need to write a list, really, is just to help me remember. So yeah, I picked up some pretty cool stuff, and I'll just shut up and I'll show you what I picked up. Cheers, I'll see you in a bit. So first up, we've got this mug from Mark the Spider Guy. It's always ace to bump into Mark and see him at the shows, and obviously we catch up with each other quite a lot on the live streams. But yeah, it was really cool to see Mark, and he gifted me this mug, which was pretty cool, if I'm honest. And then this is a bag of Isopod food that was a gift from Lewis, so that'll keep them all going for a good while, I would imagine. And now this wasn't a gift so much as this was actually a prize from Steve Thornton's recent giveaway, when he was given one of his exclusive hides, and I was fortunate enough to win it, and Steve met up with me at the show. He brought it in, and as you'll see, there's a lot of work goes into this. I was well impressed with the final outcome of it, and I just can't wait to get it into an enclosure, although I am going to have to come up with a good idea as to what I'm going to use it on. But yeah, like we say, we have a last little look at it there. Absolutely awesome, well happy with that, and I will keep you updated as to how it gets used. Now this is moving on to the animals that I picked up. This was a gift. Again, this come from Francis and Ebbs from Sidex, the Invert Kingdom, and Black Wolf Ebbs. This is a Harpactira pulchripes, or the golden blue-legged baboon, and as you'll see there, nice little grown-on sling. I have had one of these in the past, which was a male that matured, and I did send it to Francis for one of his breeding projects. So yeah, up next we've got something that I picked up from Becky Telfer, and this is the Selenocosmia covariki, or the Vietnamese bicolor or Vietnam banded tarantula. Like I said, there's too many common names, but this is a really cool species. The colours, you'll see it in the pot there, but the colours on it, it's got like a really cool blue sheen to it. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter what light I put it in, the cameras just don't seem to do it any full justice. But this was a pre-order. I'd arranged to buy this off Becky, and I picked it up before the show. Like I said, we'll take the lid off there, and you can see really cool species, but unfortunately you can see those yellow bands on the legs, but you can't make out those blue colours even with a bit of extra light. The camera still doesn't do it any full justice, if I'm honest, but hopefully we'll get some decent footage in the rehousings, and we'll be able to get them colours properly shown off. And this is another pickup from Becky. Now, Becky had bought a pair of Megaphobema robustums, the Colombian giant redlegs, a while ago, but unfortunately a female died, and she knew that I had my own large female, and the plan was that I was going to pick up this male off her once he'd matured and she'd done a pairing herself. But obviously with a female dying, Becky contacted me and asked me if I wanted to take him on now, which I think also helped in freeing up some space for us. So he'll stay with me, we'll bring him on a bit, get him to maturity, and then hopefully we'll get a pairing and we can do a 50-50 on the egg sac. So next up, this was a £50 Arboreal mystery box that I picked up from Creatures of the North. Now, you can't see much here because my finger's in the way, but this is the Lampropelma violaceps or velocipes, the Singapore blue. Now it is in there, just in that little dark spot in the centre. It's all tucked away in there. It's a sling, it's about an inch, maybe just under an inch leg span. I've never owned one of these, so quite excited to see this grow, and hopefully it'll be one of those gorgeous blue females. And next up we've got a Cereopagopus hattie. Now I think I do have 2 or 3 of these already, so hopefully between the groups that I've got we'll have a male and a female. And we have a P. rufus, the Flamingochilus species rufus, the peach earth tiger. There we go, you can see this one just sitting at the top. Doesn't look very peach at the moment, it's a bit more of a bluey purple colour, but as it grows those colours do change. I do already have a suspected female and another couple of slings of these as well. And you couldn't have an arboreal box without getting a Venezuelan sun tiger, I suppose. So you can see, nice little size one there. I do have 2 females, 1 adult, 1 sub-adult. So we'll see, we'll bring this one on, hopefully we'll get a male and we'll get a pair in about 18 months time. Like. And finally in this box, once I've sorted them out, we have the Salmopaeus esmeraldus, the emerald chevron tarantula. Now funnily enough, I was looking at buying one of these anyway on their stall, and I decided to take the plunge on the mystery box and looked out because one happened to be in there. So yeah, this is a really cool tarantula. I know people talk about the Victories and things like that, but this and the Ecclesiasticus I think are really cool, and that's the next one on my list. Now this was a really good deal. This is a green bottle blue. You'll see this is a grown on sling. Now it was quite late in the day when I picked this up. The guy just had about 15 of these left. That was all he had left stock wise, and he wanted 15 quid for each of them. So I picked out the biggest one that I could find in the hope that it would be a male. I have got a confirmed female already that's probably about 2-3 times the size of this, about a 4-inch leg span. So moving on now, we've got the stuff that I picked up from the spider shop. Now this is the Iquitos dwarf tiger, the Syriacosmus aueri. I'd never actually heard of this, but Becky got one in a mystery box as well. And I'm always intrigued by something that I've never heard of before, so I headed over to the spider shop a bit later in the afternoon when it got quieter, and I picked myself one of them up, and I'm quite looking forward to seeing how this one grows. I do like the Syriacosmus genus. And next up we've got the Carabina lata, the Puerto Rican pinto. Now when I take the lid off here, you'll see this as a sling. It's very similar colour wise to the Carabina versicolor. Got those really cool blue sort of markings on the abdomen. Not as blue on the legs, but I'm not sure if this one might be going into pre-molt or not long molted. But we'll just see what goes on over the next week or so. But again, these are a really cool spider, really awesome looking as they get older, and one that you don't see a great deal of. So when I spotted it sat just next to the Syriacosmus, I thought, all right, yeah, I'll take one. So this was 12 quid, so it was 20 quid for the 2 of them, which I thought was a great deal. And next up, we've got 2 Selenocosmia crassipes, the Queensland whistling tarantula. Now again, I picked these up late in the day. They come from Ian Wildman and Kevin Bigley. They'd actually reduced them, I think they were £15 each, but they reduced them down to 2 for 25 quid. So when I saw that, I thought, well, you know what, these are another one that don't come around very often. So I grabbed a pair of them, and hopefully we'll get at least one female. But you know, we'll just see what goes on. But yeah, I'll give you a quick look at one of them here. So it was a bit shy, but there we go. Really cool spider, and I can't wait to grow it on, and I mean, hopefully I'll get to hear that whistling that they're named after. Now this one was my pick of the day, if I'm honest. It's the Cachemiri argentinense. not a species that I'd ever heard of before. So again, as soon as I see anything that I've not heard of, that always piques my interest. So this is called the Argentinian bronze. There was 3 or 4 of them on the stall. I can't actually remember the name of the stall that I got it from, but this was only £15 for a confirmed female. Now these are a dwarf tarantula. Like I said, there isn't a great deal of information on them, but I have managed to find that out. And there was another guy who overheard my sort of chatting with the stall holder, and he bought the other 3 or the other 2 that the guy had on the stall. So yeah, that's my pickups from the show. As I've said, it was just a great day. I managed to sort of get round all the stalls eventually. It was a bit hectic. I got in, I think I got there round about the doors opening time, so it was about half hour later that I got in. I know there was about 650 people had got in ahead of me when I asked the guy on the door. So it was quite busy, got even busier over the course of the day. It wasn't too mental, but there was a couple of occasions where you sort of couldn't get to a stall, so it was a case of, oh, do you know what, I'll just give it up, I'll come back later on, and hopefully what I'm looking for will still be there. As it was, I looked out on a couple of occasions and they were. But again, massive thanks to anybody that come over and spoke to me on the day, anybody that I met for the first time, and anybody of course that I was catching up with. Yeah, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all soon. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Watch out for the rehousing video, because that'll probably be my next one. And I'll catch you all soon. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Ta-da.